we are in fact starting our debate at this moment. Is there a grand alliance against Narendra Modi? Remember, ever since his candidature was announced from the Varanasi seat, it seems, and there are theories going, doing the rounds, the Samajwadi Party, the Congress, all of them coming together and saying that we could explore the possibility of fielding a joint candidate. So it's a peculiar situation, and to debate this, we have Shambhit Patra, leader of the BJP here in the Delhi studio, Rahul Mehra, national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, joining us, and also Sanjay Jha, spokesperson of the Congress Party, joining us from Mumbai. Now, Shambhit, I'll come to you first. How do you look at the situation like this? Your initial reactions?
The initial reaction is it's not a grand alliance. It is a gang of evils. So I believe that the words have to be got together first in the right manner. And secondly, since time immemorial, we are aware of the fact that truth is always a lone crusader. And it is the evil forces which always gang up to see to it that the truth is defeated. But at the end of the day, everyone over here in the debate and outside the purview of the debate, everyone in this world is aware of the fact the truth alone triumphs. And we all know, I believe BJP need not be aggressive on this issue. We all know at the end who would triumph.
Okay. Let me just see if we have Sanjay Jha on the phone line with us. Sanjay, can you hear me?
Yeah, Sanket, I can hear you.
Well, Sanjay, the question is, do you feel that you are running out of ammunition against Mr. Narendra Modi? Even your allies are not with you.
Well, all I can tell you here in very simple terms is that if you heard Mr. Gandhi's, or rather you read about Mr. Gandhi's interview to the PTI, he was very emphatic that the UPA under the Congress will come back in the 2014 elections. So I think, in a larger sphere, the UPA and the other people who we are in negotiations with, and possibly a lot of opportunities that will open up after the elections are also over. So I think the Congress is extremely confident.
Then Sanjay, then why this talk, why this proposal that comes from the Congress Party that let's field a joint candidate?
Let me tell you, end of day, there is no formal, discussion on that as yet. There are everybody within
but then there is a proposal from an esteemed colleague of yours.
Well, let me tell you, there are, these are very, very core decisions. This is, end of day, a strategic call, not just a tactical call. And, we would like to win the election from Banaras, whoever is standing, whether it's Mr. Arvind Kejriwal or, for that matter, Mr. Narendra Modi. So these are decisions that you really can't take in haste. End of day, let me tell you that Mr. Modi is standing from Banaras only from one point of view, because the intention is to polarize the UP voter and, somewhere try and create further dissensions and in society to suit the BJP's larger communal propaganda and its aims. So I do believe, if you heard, read about Mr. Gandhi's interview, Sanket, I think he did mention that, the whole controversy over the 2002 SIT report is still out in the open. So there are a lot of issues on Mr. Modi which still have to be discussed during the run-up in the campaign.
No, but the problem is, Mr. Sanjay Jha, I have the interview right in front of me, and for the benefit of our viewers and also the panelists here, so that we are all on the same page, I would like to read out 3 lines from that interview, Shambhit. Rahul Gandhi, in an interview to the PTI, says, quote, as you know, the SIT report had been seriously questioned by a number of credible experts. Grave flaws have been pointed out in the functioning of the SIT. The acceptance of the flawed SIT report by the lowest court has not yet been subjected to judicial scrutiny by higher courts, unquote.
Sanket, tell me, does the Congress Party feel that there are experts who are more important than the Supreme Court set SIT? This is a classical case of judicial ignorance anyhow. I do not take, nor does BJP take Mr. Rahul Gandhi's blabbering in a very serious note, because we have seen the time and again Mr. Rahul Gandhi has come out to give an interview. All that he has done, he has harmed the Congress Party more than benefiting the nation at the large. So I believe Mr. Rahul Gandhi should acquire some kind of knowledge as far as the judicial parallels of this country is concerned, as to how the judiciary, what does an SIT in fact mean, before commenting upon the intelligence of a Supreme Court. And secondly, the second line, the matter which concerns me as a BJP worker is, in a very systemic manner, the Congress has mounted a pressure both on the Supreme Court and is trying to denigrate the authority of the Election Commission also. It was Salman Khurshid few days ago, and 2 days ago it was Rahul Gandhi. And what are the intentions of Congress at the end? Does it want to denigrate all the important constituent authorities of this country before it is diminished to power in 2014?
Sanjay Jha, before you actually get to answer that, let me also get in the third dimension as far as Varanasi is concerned. Now, Rahul Mehra, you represent the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, there is speculation that since the Congress has proposed, the Samajwadi Party has backed, could your candidate, who is most likely going to be Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, be that, unifying force for the entire opposition against Narendra Modi? Are you up for such a proposal?
Well, for us, all of them are absolutely the same. We are not actually fighting against these political parties. They just need to be seem to be symbolic in nature for us. What we are actually contesting against and fighting against and wanting India to be rid of are four evils, and those four evils are idealized and symbolized by BJP and Congress both. Number one, the corruption, all-pervasive corruption in India. Number two, the communalism, and in which the secular forces and the communal forces, they divide India. They don't talk about India, they talk about communal and secularism. It's a dynastic politics. And number four, the criminalization of politics by these national parties.
No, Mr. Mehra,
so
but why do I feel...
we are fighting against these four... allow me. For us, we are fighting against these evils, and that is why we have pitched our best candidates, the biggest, tallest leaders in our party, against the two prime ministerial aspirants. One from Congress and one from BJP, the two national parties. Against the Congress, we have pitched Kumar Vishwas against Rahul Gandhi from Amethi, and against Mr. Modi, most likely it's going to be Arvind, who is our national convener and our tallest leader. So I think
why do you say
we are
most
equidistant
likely
from these parties, because on 23rd Arvind has called for Jan Sabha in Varanasi, and he's going to seek the blessings of the people.
No, but I'm very curious. Rahul Mehra, I'm very curious on this point. Glad you brought this point up. I'm very curious. What is this seek the blessings of the people? I mean, you're again talking about referendum. I hope I'm correct.
No, I don't know what it is, but you will see on 23rd Arvind holding a rally out there and Arvind going out there, and whatever you can give it, whatever name you want.
No, but Mr. Mehra, I don't understand. I mean, this is selective. This process of selective
name
referendum.
Or terminology you want to give it to.
No, Mr. Mehra, this process of selective referendum on 23rd of December 2013.
As far as we are concerned, the PAC, which is the highest political body in the Aam Aadmi Party, there is a unanimous view taken out there that Arvind must contest from Varanasi against Modi.
Then what are you waiting for?
So as far as the party is concerned, it's Arvind who has to go there. It's our volunteers who have to go there. They will take a final call on that. I think more or less it's certain that Arvind will contest from there. But eventually the final call will be taken.
So in layman's terminology, what Aam Aadmi Party has actually taught us over the past 3 years, this is your referendum process over the past 1 year. This is your referendum process.
Referendum is a more organized way of going and holding smaller Jan Sabhas and talking to the entire constituency. If need be, if on 23rd one feels that is the way forward, maybe that would be the way forward.
Okay, let me ask you a counter question.
That's for the PAC.
Mr. Mehra, on 23rd December 2013, you carried out a massive referendum here in the national capital, and after that you decided that the people want you to form a government in Delhi. 49 days later, you decided that you don't want to stay in power. Why didn't you call for a referendum then? Why didn't you seek the opinion of the people then?
Very simple.
So this is selective referendum, you know. Whatever you please, you've already decided that the PAC wants this. So, it'll be comforting for you to have a referendum on those lines.
Not at all. I think you're just, mixing up all the issues. What had happened on the 23rd of December, why the necessity for the referendum had arisen, was for the simple reason that we had very categorically during our entire campaign, and we felt very strongly about it, that we will not, and that was our commitment to the people, that we will not align with either BJP or Congress. And the discourse was such that both the political parties were challenging us to take up the challenge. And in fact, one of the political parties, the most corrupt political party, challenged us that, you know, by giving support to the LG rather than coming with a letter of support to us.
No.
And they actually tried to create a perception in the minds of the people that these are the people who can't govern. So therefore, it was important to go to the peoples and ask them that this is what we had fought on the plans that we will not align.
But just coming back to the topic today.
And that was allow me. No. Now you have asked me a question. Allow me to complete. As far as the post the 49 days is concerned, we were very clear. We went to the people with 18 issues. And those 18 issues were the issues which both the political parties had said. In fact, Congress had very categorically said. And the issue number 2 was passing of the Jan Lokpal bill. When our second issue, which is the basis of which our political party came into existence, we were only a social movement, not a political movement.
Well, Mr. Mehra,
we started this political party on Jan Lokpal. When they withdrew and they did not support us, there was no reason for us to continue even for a second later. And that is what a moral stand we took.
Well,
and I'm sure that this time round, if the BJP and Congress don't mix up and they allow elections to happen, which should have been allowed with the Lok Sabha itself, because that was the least bothersome for the people and least expensive. In any case, the elections were going on, and therefore, it is their
Mr. Mehra, you have had your say. On this particular point, you have had your say. The only point is that there is an English word which describes all of what you have said over the past 2.5 minutes. Convenience. It's an argument of convenience with the way the people are actually going to look at it. I am a citizen of Delhi and I feel that this is an argument of convenience that you are putting across.
For BJP and Congress,
the Bharatiya Janata Party representative here,
ideology is principle.
The Bharatiya Janata Party representative here wants to take you head on, in fact, on this particular point. But before we do that, let's quickly come back to the topic that we are discussing at this moment. And I would like to get in Mr. Sanjay Jha at this moment. Mr. Sanjay Jha, don't you feel that, you know, this Modi bandwagon is robbing you of your prospective UPA allies? You have a situation where now you're talking about a combined candidate. LJP is now with the Modi camp. You know, there is also talk of Adagiri going to the Modi camp. TRS was heavily in negotiations with you before Telangana. Look where they are right now. Look at their position.
Well,
Isn't the Congress worried?
No, I'm telling you one thing for a fact that, you know, a lot of hype has been built around Mr. Modi. And, you know, Sambit was trying to, you know, explain that how our leaders should know the judicial process in India. When Mr. Gandhi talked about the SIT report, I want to answer that before I answer your questions again.
Okay.
What he said was pertinent because the SIT report is, frankly speaking, going to be contested in the higher courts. And when Mr. Gandhi talked of credible experts, you have the amicus curiae, Raju Ravachandran, who actually said that Mr. Modi ought to be prosecuted. A more severe and detailed investigation had to be done in the Gulberg massacre that happened. But I don't want to get into the technicalities right now on the phone. On the phone, what I would like to tell you is that despite all the talk that the BJP does, the truth is they know that they are hardly represented beyond central India and maybe parts of some northern part of India. So they are going to draw a huge blank in South India and the Northeast India.
Mr.
And, and even today, if you look at that,
one small question I have, Mr. Jha.
No, Sanketh, look at Maharashtra. Maharashtra today, such a vital state. You have the Shiv Sena and the MNS have actually got into, along with the BJP, there is such huge discomfort. You know, the Shiv Sena is extremely upset with the BJP for having tried to, play footsie with the MNS.
Okay, Mr. Jha, you want to talk about Maharashtra? I will talk about Maharashtra. You have made your point about Maharashtra. How about another point about Maharashtra? I don't know if you have seen this exclusive interview that we have played out with Supriya Sule, senior NCP leader, where for the benefit of your understanding, let me quote what she is saying. She says, no one should be considered guilty unless proven by law. And this she is saying in the context of Mr. Narendra Modi and the attack that has been mounted on Mr. Narendra Modi following whatever has happened in the court. How do you look at this? This is also Maharashtra. This is also an ally of yours.
1 minute. No, I can tell you. Are we saying that today Mr. Modi is guilty legally? We're not saying that. We are saying that there has been, and I think this is the critical point, there's been a shocking absence of governance. Maya Kodnani, a very, very senior minister, has gone to jail convicted of murder for what happened in Naroda Patia. There is a Babu Bajrangi went to jail as well. There are serious accusations on Mr. Modi directly in the Gulberg massacre case, which is currently a work in progress or a trial in progress.
Now,
so let the courts decide.
Mr. Sanjay Jha, this is almost like deja vu.
While he may not be legally guilty, there's been shocking lack of governance. There is a huge moral obligation. There is also a degree of complicity, because if you are the chief minister
purely,
and a massacre
Mr. Sanjay Jha, purely as a matter of political discourse and not the merits of the arguments that you are making, it gives me a sense of deja vu. You have made this particular point, and now Mr. Sambit Patra sitting here will make a counter argument which has gone on and on Indian television, and I'm sure even viewers know what you're going to say.
No, not at all. I have moved from 2002, I have moved from 1984. The BJP government and the BJP cadre, in fact, is looking forward for governance in 2014. The colors of the country have to change, and this Holi sitting over here, let me wish brighter colors to this country in 2014 May. But important points over here, I've been listening to all of them. First and foremost, as far as my dear friend from Congress Sanjay Jha is concerned, I believe more than speaking about SIT and having judicial ignorance, they should all be busy with the evacuation process that is going on in the Grand Titanic. Everyone from top to bottom is busy leaving the Grand Titanic, and I think Sanjay also should busy himself with his evacuation process going on in Congress. Secondly, as far as my Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, let me be very categorical over here. Look, Sanket, this is the first election. We all have been watching elections since long, but this is probably the first election where whole of the incumbent governments have come together to fight the opposition. It is the first time that the opposition is being fought as if the opposition is the incumbent government. Why? This is only because of the reason that the opposition alone has a vision, rest others have no vision. Secondly, and most importantly, it may sound harsh, but let me come out finally. See, in the elections, political parties are supposed to contest and to win or to lose. No issues. But drama companies we do not entertain. And as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, I would have seriously contested what Mr. Rahul Mehra, my friend, has been saying. But today I do not contest them, because drama companies are not to be contested with political parties. So
in other words, you are saying that Aam Aadmi Party candidate, if Arvind Kejriwal
whoever,
fights against
Arvind
Narendra
Kejriwal,
Modi,
the whole of the gang,
you will not take him seriously.
We are not going to take any one of them seriously. Neither is India going to take them seriously, for obvious reason that we all have seen. Secondly, as far as the referendum is concerned, I seriously believe, Sanket, that all of
we are done with that subject.
No.
We are done with that subject.
We have a point. I have a point. Please, they all spoke for 2.5 minutes. I have not spoken for 50 seconds. As far as the referendum is concerned, I believe the Aam Aadmi Party is high time should hold a referendum within its cadres. Should the Aam Aadmi Party finally merge with its mother party? That is the Congress. That's what is happening ultimately. That's what we are seeing in Varanasi also. And at the end of the day, let me wind up by saying that it is at the end of the day, India is seeing an employee-employer relationship. The employer being the Congress and the employee being the Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay. Mr. Rahul Mehra, these are, arguments that have been mounted on you. But one point that I wanted to highlight is that there is this talk about, a united candidate against Mr. Narendra Modi. I just want to quickly read out the position as it stands in Varanasi right now. The Qaumi Ekta Dal has fielded Mukhtar Ansari, who's right now in Agra jail. The Bahujan Samaj Party has fielded Vijay Jaiswal. These are names that have already been announced, by the way. The Samajwadi Party has fielded Mr. Kailash Chaurasia. The Bharatiya Janata Party has fielded Mr. Narendra Modi. The Aam Aadmi Party, in all likelihood, after whatever the process you want to call it on the 23rd of this particular month, will declare Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. The Congress is the only party which is yet to declare its candidate, and there is talk of one Mr. Ajay Rai who could be fielded from the Congress party. Where is the unity? The point that Sambit Patra is making, that there is a gang up that has happened against Mr. Narendra Modi. Where is that unity? I can't see it here.
I'm glad, and if these are the facts which you are placing before the country through your channel, why have you held a 45-minute show on
I will tell you why. I will tell you why. Because there are leaders of these two political parties, the Samajwadi Party and the Congress, who have made an argument which is contrary to what their claims are on paper.
So then you need to ask Samajwadi Party against whom, whose tallest leader, if I can say so, Mulayam Singh Yadav, we have pitched one of the most honest and upright civil servants. We hope and we are absolutely certain that the Aam Aadmi Party candidate shall be victorious out there as well. As far as the Congress is concerned, I would suggest, why doesn't Mr. Rahul Gandhi also come in in Banaras, and let's have a real battle of swords. And he should contest from Banaras and take up the challenge. Number two, as far as the BJP spokesperson is concerned, these are issues which have been decided by Delhi, and they have got a very befitting reply. BJP called us Congress B team, and Congress called us BJP's B team. All we have shown over the last 6 months is, in fact, the A team is Aam Aadmi Party, the B team is the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the C team is the Congress Party. That's how A, B and C comes in. So let us not fool ourselves anymore. They are, the B and the C team are bhais. They are same on communalism because they divide the country under the name of secularism and communalism. They are the same on corruption. Both of them have innumerable, let me complete. They both have innumerable, criminal elements in their parties who have got tickets. We have none. They both are indulging in dynastic politics. We do not. And all of them are also, people who are actually, giving tickets to corrupt individuals. We are against all these four, and we are standing all alone, and I'm sure truth will triumph eventually. People of India are, aware of what BJP and Congress game is all about. In 5 years, they do not talk against each other. They defend their own leaders, which is why there is never, anybody pitched against the top leadership as an opponent on both sides. They give almost walkovers to each other, and then
Mr. Mehra,
when they come in the parliament, they stall.
One small question that we have.
The women's they stall the General
As a curious voter of this country, one small little, question that I have as a curious voter of this country. Will Arvind Kejriwal, should a proposal come his way to be the joint opposition candidate against Mr. Narendra Modi, will he take this challenge up or not? It only helps his cause.
I am sorry, for us, we are going, Ekla Chalo Re is our policy, we are going all alone. We are not going to be looking into all these things. It's for other political parties. If their larger game is going to be played by these kind of antics, it's for them. It's their internal process. It's their internal strategy. It's their own political game. We are not going to be a part or bhagidar in all of this. So it's for them to answer. It's not for me to answer at all.
Well, Mr. Mehra, we have seen on a number of occasions that the Aam Aadmi Party has taken one particular position, a very strong position, and then completely changed to the other side of that particular position. Mr. Shobhit Patra, you wanted to make some point.
A quick point. In fact, Mr. Mehra has taught me the complete letters of alphabet A, B, D, C, all the teams and all. But at the end of the day, let me tell you, the country knows that you are no team at all. But the most important question that I wanted to ask you is, Sonia Gandhi writes a letter that Arvind Kejriwal should not be transferred. Arvind Kejriwal is never transferred for 17 long years in Delhi. He draws a salary while he's working as an NGO, but still the central government keeps mum over Mr. Arvind Kejriwal.
This is a different subject.
No, this is very important. This proves to the country who is whose team, and the way the emphasis shift has occurred. It was against the Congress that the Aam Aadmi Party stood, and today it is all about Mr. Narendra Modi. So it is virtually something which the country can see through, and that is the only reason as to why I am not being aggressive at all today, because the truth need not have too many words. It is plain, simple and very visible, Mr. Rahul Mehra.
All these issues you have played so many times over and over again, and the people of Delhi have given you a befitting reply. You are the ones who are bhagodas. You with 32 seats did not want to take up the responsibility and wanted 28-seat party.
How does one take responsibility if one does not have the number?
This is what you people are.
Congress was after you for the support. How can we would have formed the government?
When you can tie up with Congress behind the
you tied up with Congress.
Every other issue.
He was your buddy. Congress was your buddy. What could have we done? We never do such kind of business with Congress.
Be it political parties not coming under RTI. Be it the communal.
You did not answer as to why Mr. Kejriwal what never transferred in his bureaucratic.
No, but gentlemen, this is going to be a long and a very winding debate.
Mr. Kejriwal. I mean, do you need any more proof
all
than
of you
this?
people in the BJP are running away from true facts. You talk about,
don't use the runaway word for anyone. You are a runaway party.
All these fictitious issues have been
Rahul Mehra, Shobhit Patra, this is going to go on and on.
You have not been able to convince the people.
Rahul Mehra, Shobhit Patra, this is going to go on and on.
Have been completely.
Let me just come back to the topic that we are discussing today. Grand alliance against Modi, is that realistically possible?
He doesn't want to address. He wants to run away from the central topic.
No. The central topic is this. This particular debate is on the fact that whether all political parties are, in layman terms, ganging up against Mr. Narendra Modi. And my final question is to Mr. Sanjay Jha, if he's still on the phone line. I am sorry to our viewers that we couldn't get him live because of a technical snag. But Mr. Sanjay Jha, if you are still with us, my two questions as we conclude this particular debate. Number one, completely hypothetical, the point that was made by Mr. Rahul Mehra. Will Mr. Rahul Gandhi also join in this particular contest from Varanasi? I mean, it is going to be a pot boiler.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Sanjay. I'm still there on the call, and I was listening to all the long moral lectures of Mr. Rahul Mehra and the sarcastic responses of BJP. I think the two of them can keep squabbling with each other. The Congress is going to win the elections, and Mr. Rahul Gandhi is going to fight the elections from Amethi. If Mr. Modi or Mr. Arvind Kejriwal would like to contest him, they're free to come there. They can ask Mr. Vishwas to withdraw his candidature. It's up to them. Now, the point is, we believe personality conflict and personality is not going to be the key factor in the election. India has multiple challenges. The Congress-led UP is going to deliver on them. And I want to reassure Mr. Sambit Batra once again that Mr. Modi has not got a clean sheet. I want to repeat that. The case is still going to be discussed in the higher court until the courts clear him.
No, but the question, Mr. Jha, that would be asked to the Congress party is that, is it about time to tone down the rhetoric, because it does not seem to be giving you political dividends, and it's almost like a law of diminishing returns. Thank you very much to all our panelists who joined us on this particular debate. It will be only too interesting to see whether a gang-up of this sort or a combined opposition candidate against Narendra Modi is actually going to be a reality or not, or is this just some political talk at this moment.